Hello and welcome to ITERS Item 29, providing physical warmth and touch to young children and babies. The ITERS is, of course, the Infant and Toddler Environmental Rating Scale, and we are looking at Item 29. Okay, so the scale obviously looks at how well you provide an early years environment, either in a classroom or an early years setting for children predominantly 0 to 3 in the infant and baby's age phase. And this item specifically looks at how well your early years setting provides physical warmth and touch to children. So we're going to start with a few of Sammy's infamous top tips, where I'll go through some guidelines on what you should be doing in terms of physical warmth and touch with children, and then we will jump straight in and look at the rating scale from inadequate all the way up through to excellent. Okay, so let's jump in and look at the first of Sammy's top tips. So the first thing that I want to tell you is that human touch is crucial for survival. It's really important that you provide babies and small children with warm human touch. And that means cuddles and affection and an environment where they feel secure and where they feel loved. This is important for their healthy development. More than important, crucial. My next top tip is provide loving comfort and reassurance to children. Cuddle them when they cry. Help them when they're in distress. Support them. Reassuring touches are so important in the early years to help children feel secure and to help them form strong attachments to those people that are caring for them. And moving on to my third top tip, responsive caregiving. This is about knowing the children that you're working with, seeing what the children need, and responding positively. So children communicate through their behavior. So when they're communicating that they're in distress or that they want to be loved, this is the opportunity where you can use your responsive caregiving skills to step in and show them that warmth, that love, that affection that they need in order to survive and to thrive. I want to go on just to talk about the playful touch. The playful touch is about tickling children, holding their hands and doing round and round the garden like teddy bear. One step, two step, tickly under there. To make them laugh on their feet, on their hands, on their belly button, when you're changing them. And there's many ways that you touch children in a playful way that encourages engagement, interaction, and communication. And the soothing touch. This might be when they're going to sleep and you have your hand on their back for reassurance. It might be when they're upset and they're crying and you have them on your lap and you stroke their head or you stroke their hair. There's many ways to provide a soothing touch. So, in summary, warm human touch is crucial. Provide an environment where love, comfort, and reassurance punctuates the day. Be responsive to the children's needs in your caregiving approach. Be playful with the children in terms of the touch that you provide, and think about how you can provide soothing touches when children need soothing. So that's my top tips for warmth Let's jump in and start looking at the rating scale. So we're going to start with inadequate, which is a number 1 on the rating scale. So if you are doing any of these things, you are coming out at number 1 on the rating scale. So staff generally do not provide physical contact for the children they're working with, or physical contact is rarely warm and is generally negative. Oh, stop doing that. Move your hands from there. Oh, let me pick you up and put you down over here. Staff discourage physical contact amongst the children. Sammy, hands to yourself. Any of these things that are happening in your early years setting, you're coming out at inadequate. Okay? Let's have a look at the minimal criteria. So in the minimal criteria, there would be no evidence of extreme negative physical contact. Appropriate physical contact is used in routines or to manage children. So that might be picking them up to put them on the changing table, for example, taking them physically to their beds, the things that you need to do in a routine. And staff generally prevent negative physical contact amongst children. Sammy, gentle hands. Keep your hands to yourself. And staff often sit on the floor or on a low down table to make themselves physically accessible to children. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of these minimal criteria. If you're meeting all 4 of these criteria and none of the inadequates, then you're coming out at a number 3 or above if you also meet some of the goods. If you're meeting only 2 or 3 of these, none of the inadequates, then you're coming out at a number 2. Okay, so inadequate number 2, up to 3 of the minimum. Sorry, inadequate number 1, up to 3 of the minimal, number 2. All 4 of the minimal, you're coming out at a number 3 rating. Let's look at what you need to do for a 4 or 5 rating. So if you're meeting all 3 of these, it is a number 5 on the rating scale. And if you're meeting 2 of these, it's a number 4, providing you've also met the minimals. Okay, so warm physical contact is often used during learning and play activities. Staff are usually aware and receptive to children's attempts to initiate physical contact. Oh, do you want a cuddle? Come here. Sammy's going to give you a cuddle. Staff positively and never negatively encourage gentle touches amongst the children. Great. So all 3 of those criteria, you're coming out at a good, which is a rating scale 5. Let's go on to look at the 6s and 7s. Obviously, if you're doing both of these excellence as well as the goods, you're coming out at a number 7 on the rating scale. And if you're doing just one of these, having met the good criteria, then you're coming out at a number 6. So there is evidence in your classroom, in your early years room, of lots of holding the children, patting, and other physical warm contact is shown to children throughout the day. There's no major instances where this has been missed. And staff usually vary their physical touch to match the moods or personalities or preferences of the children. And that means not grabbing a child and doing kissy, 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 kissy if that's not what they want. So reading the room, reading the children, and providing what they actually need and want in terms of physical contact and warmth. So do review these and think about what your practice looks like and the practice in the room where you're working. And if there's some of these things in the goods and excellence that you're not doing, think about what steps you can take to strive towards excellence.